The S24 Ultra's cameras is Samsung's most complete and versatile offering to date. Daniel here from SamMobile TV, and today we're going to be reviewing the cameras on the S24 Ultra. This review is not going to look at anything on the phone other than these four things back here. Technically five, if you count the laser autofocus. But it's not going to look at it from a hardware perspective. We're looking at the output, how these things have actually performed in what they've been capturing in my usage in particular. At the moment, it's a bit of a hot topic where everyone is comparing the S24 Ultra's cameras to other cameras on the market which aren't necessarily available everywhere. But these comparisons are also focusing very specifically on 30 times plus zoom, and a lot of comparisons are not really taking into account the function and other output that this camera is capable of getting. Pretty much ignoring all of the stuff that this is very good at and the stuff that I love using this for. I find excuses every day to take photos with the cameras on these. Whether that be outdoors in beautiful landscapes, whether that be indoors, doesn't matter. I find excuses, I take photos. What I've really enjoyed with the S24 Ultra's cameras this year is the consistency. There is a very consistent output that goes from the ultra wide to the 1 times, to the 3 times, to the 5 times. The color science is a lot more consistent across those four compared to what it has been in past generations of Samsung phones. In particular with that 5 times. The 10 times last year and previous years used to be a lot different in color science. A lot more muted and maybe washed out compared to the other cameras that were on the phone. The 1 times camera is obviously the strongest. It's well balanced. It's got the best HDR. It's got the best contrast. And what Samsung have done this year is balance the shadows and the light areas a lot better compared to what they have done in the past. I've taken a lot of photos of different things. Beautiful outdoor scenarios, not so beautiful cloudy weather, sports games of my son, photos of my kids in action, putting to bed the myth that you can't take photos of moving things. I haven't found a scenario yet where I don't like the processing of these cameras. What has surprised me the most though is the 5x camera. I was heading into this generation of smartphone thinking that Samsung were wrong, that they had made the wrong decision to ditch the 3 times and the 10 times telephoto in favor for a 50 megapixel 5x camera. But I was wrong, and Samsung were right. The 5x camera is phenomenal. It is a marketable upgrade over the 10 times from the S23 Ultra from last year. It's clearer, it's sharper, and better in near on every situation that the two of them can compete against. It's also better than the 3 times camera. And I know that the 3 times camera is still here, but on the S23 Ultra, the 3x camera was responsible for going from 3x to 9.9. Whereas this year you have the 5x, which handles pretty much that entire zoom range. And because it's a high resolution, it can crop in and maintain a high level of clarity all the way up to that 10x range. Is the 10x on the S24 Ultra better than the 10x on the S23 Ultra? No, it's not worse though. And I think that's where the win comes, is that it's not about it being better, it's about you getting more flexibility out of it. Because whilst it might not be better at the longer range zoom between 10 and 30, it's certainly not a whole lot worse, as some may say it is. What you're getting is a better experience between 0.6 and 10. Because pretty much anywhere through that zoom range, you are getting a high quality photo. And that is what the upgrade was about. The 5x is also good at like telemacro stuff, which you couldn't get before. The ability to go in close to things and capture this nice depth of field with incredible detail. It just adds to that flexibility because you're getting the options to take photos of nature and like grasshoppers or flowers and get a beautiful result at the end of it. But for me, where this 5x camera has become most useful to me is portrait shots. It's the best portrait lens on the phone. Whether you are standing a bit close to something or whether you're a bit farther away, it creates a really nice depth of field while still maintaining good detail on the subjects. The photos that you're seeing now were all taken on the 5x camera in portrait mode, and it just creates this really nice depth of field. The detail is good, and it is some of my favorite portrait mode shots that I've ever taken on any Samsung phone I've owned. A lot of this is down to the fact that this 5x camera has a bigger sensor and a better aperture compared to the 10x camera from the S23 Ultra from last year. And what this has helped with infinitely is nighttime photography. Now, I'm not the biggest nighttime photographer anymore. Since having kids, you're very rarely out at night past 7 o'clock. Sad. I can also though appreciate that nighttime photography hasn't been Samsung's strong suit in recent years. They haven't necessarily improved it a great deal with the S24 Ultra. What I will say is that they're certainly great photos, and for the most majority of people, you are still going to enjoy these. because that captures enough light, captures enough detail, and having the bigger 5x sensor means 5x low light photos are a lot better now as well. They just aren't as class leading as it used to be when it comes to low light, but you still get all the amazing other stuff that sort of is surrounding it. That could probably be the only weakness that I see. A lot of other people may disagree, but for me, videos have no weaknesses. It's got great exposure, it's got amazing HDR, and similar to photos, really good consistency across all of the cameras on the back. My main video usage is basically the beach, because we go there a lot. I live on the Gold Coast, of course I do. B-roll for YouTube, I use quite a lot, and also at my son's football, or just at football in general. I love the flexibility of zoom that it gives me when I can sit back and sort of record stuff like a penalty, for example. For me with video, it's more than just the output, it's the modes and flexibility that Samsung have built into the camera app. The camera modes that Samsung offer are so vast and widespread that if there's a moment that you need captured in a certain way, Samsung have got you covered. For example, if you can't decide whether you want to take a photo or a video, Samsung built single take. And this year with single take, Samsung have improved it by allowing you to use all the cameras on the rear of the phone, not just the one times. So that means you can capture from close, from far away, it's up to you. And what I really love with single take is it gives you an album full of photos and videos to choose from what you want from that selection. Beautiful. If you want to record with two rear cameras and have two different angles of a moment, you can do that with dual recording. And with the S24 Ultra, you can do it in 4K 30. I've talked about it countless times here on SamMobile TV. In fact, I've dedicated an entire video to dual recording. So I'll chuck that up there for you to go take a look at. Just know that the whole point of this is the ability to record two rear cameras at the same time. It's magic. There's plenty of other camera modes as well. You have 8K with the 1X and the 5X. You have Pro Video mode. You have auto framing. You have Super Steady. It is stacked full of video options that I think it's actually worth making an entire video dedicated to the video functions on this phone. So let me know in the comments below if that's something you'd like to see. And hit subscribe because I might just do it anyway. The cameras on the S24 Ultra are a little bit misunderstood. A lot of people are calling for this massive update to drastically improve its capabilities. And yes, I think updates are nice. Samsung is known for updating and optimizing their camera performance as the year progresses, as time progresses in general. But to say that you need a class action lawsuit against this phone is absurd. The performance of the cameras are excellent. It's not just about the output that it gives you, it's about how you can use it and the situations that Samsung allow you to use it with different modes. Thanks for watching SamMobile TV. Hit subscribe if you like what we're doing here. Come and follow us on all of our socials and visit our website as well. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.